Welcome to another edition of Agency Scaling Secrets. I'm Solomon Timothy. Today's question is, what is the simplest and fastest way to scale my agency? This is a fantastic question. Let's dive in. The first step in optimizing your agency's growth is to simplify the products, right? So many times agency owners have a heart attack when we tell them to simplify the product because they're so used to offering everything in the planet. And what we really want you to do is think about what are those 5 products? Like I said, McDonald's may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are those 5 products we're going to get to market and we're going to scale with, rather than offering 50 products only for someone to buy once a quarter, if that. Simplifying your products is your number one thing. Now, a lot of agency owners really want to be full service. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Just plan on hiring a lot of resources to manage a full service agency. And many agencies that are full service are extremely inefficient just because of the nature of the business that they run. At some point, it's going to affect your profitability, your cash flow, just because you may have resources for products that you don't really sell all day, right? So full service is actually very difficult to scale because of inefficiencies, but what you really want to do is simplify so that you don't have to be all things to all people. Even if you have different partners to do different things, you still need to have managerial time, people, project managers, account managers, a lot of resources just to make sure that client is absolutely happy with the work and things went in a smooth manner. They're gonna come back and buy more services from you, right? So think about that. So the more things you offer, you're actually going to have to manage more things, and time, of course, needs to be allocated for the management of those projects and delivering an amazing experience to the client. So full service is not always great from a scaling perspective, but if you aspire to be a full service agency, go for it. Just understand that scalability is not quite there for all the products that you're trying to scale, because at the end of the day, not all products can be scaled. That's the bottom line. You have to realize, what are you in it for? Is it just to help a customer one time, or are you really gonna take 50 products and try to be all things to all people? Secondly, I wanna talk about standardizing your deliverables. One of the biggest challenges agency owners face is that they wanna have variables in their deliverables so customers can pick whatever they want. So they want blogs, great, fantastic, but somebody else want landing pages, well, they get that. Well, the challenge is you can't have all these variables in your deliverables from client to client, because it's only going to confuse the sales department, the fulfillment department, and everyone else that's involved, right? So if you can standardize it, you have maybe 3 versions, right? The challenge for persona A is this, the challenge for persona B is this, and the challenge for persona C is whatever that is, and you're going to customize it to those 3 challenges. Makes a lot of sense when they're sitting at the table making a decision. Well, this is my challenge. I'm looking for top of funnel or bottom of funnel or booked appointments or whatever it is, so I'm going to buy this program. And that comes with Facebook ads and Google ads and a landing pages and all the things that I need. Fantastic, makes perfect sense, that's what I need. And I can get rid of 2 and 3 from my decision-making process because those are not my problems. So if you do that as a team, you'll know exactly what they need, and you can create templates and checklists and be able to scale much faster. Something a lot of agencies still struggle with, just because they want to kind of keep everything open-ended and custom create proposals. There's nothing wrong with that, but the challenge is, again, you're spending a lot of time before you can even serve them on figuring out what they need, right? So you're spending a lot of time. The cost of sale is going to be significantly higher than they say, hey, in 1 hour, I've already decided what I want, figured out the budget, and tomorrow we can start onboarding. Third is a process. So when we started, we had a lot of people and a terrible process. And the reason is we didn't know how important process was. We knew that we needed salespeople, we needed fulfillment people, we needed account managers, but how that customer moves through that journey from being a cold prospect to a lead, and then going through that discovery call, and then going through that sales process, closing them, onboarding them, and managing them, has been a journey that we've gone through and figured out, oh man, if we don't fix the process, we're going to be in terrible shape. We built this process that we follow today for all the agencies that we work with. And what we want you to understand is that if you don't have a process today from a cold, hard lead, maybe they filled out a form on your website, but they're not like ready to buy. Having a connect call and a discovery call, and then going through that closing stage, onboarding and managing, having a systematic process is going to help you scale so much faster. Even if you can't figure out your standardization of your deliverables, That process is so important. In fact, that's probably the number one thing that you should work on, because if you cannot put it into the process, a product should not exist. You want to make sure, if it's back to McDonald's, the product number one has a fixed deliverables. It's supposed to come to you at this temperature. They put it in this box and put it in a bag and hand it to you. There is a process in how that happens. There's a process in how that burger is cooked and everything else, and checklist, right? And people to make sure that it's done a certain way. And so think about that for your agency. If we don't have that, well, we shouldn't be offering that product. Think of it like that. It's very simple. In fact, I do want to make this dummy proof as possible. If you can't simplify the product offerings, if you're still thinking about what more to offer, well, then you might be getting yourself in trouble creating the unscalable agency that you really don't want to have by just not being really sure about what is it that you're offering, right? You want to make sure you're absolutely clear on the product, the prices, the deliverables, and how it's going to get it done. Step-by-step plan on how it goes from beginning to end, right? So that's what I would love for you to have for your agency. And finally, if you can nail the first three, you're well on your way to scaling your agency. It's those three things that seem to be really simple, but is extremely difficult to execute, right? Simplifying your product. And I'm just gonna give you a magic number just because we had a lot of fun with the number 5. Pick 3 or 4 or 5 things and stick with it, and that's all you do, right? If somebody comes to you and says, I want tacos, McDonald's doesn't really care. They'll tell you to go to Taco Bell because this is not a taco place. And so that's number 1. And number 2 is standardizing your deliverables. Whatever those things that you offer to them, I'm going to give you 5 blogs and 2 this and whatever else, it doesn't matter as long as you know that that is what your product is based off of. So let's say you'll have a retainer of $3,000. This is what you get for $3,000. You need to be absolutely sure about what that is. It's not up for customers to decide. Then you're creating an agency that's not going to be very sustainable because customers are going to say, I need headshots. Well, are you going to go there and shoot headshots and the next one says, I need an intro video? Well, that's a different business, right? So think about that. You got to know that, and you have to dictate that for yourself. And then number 3, you want to systemize the process. What does that look like? To have a cold hard prospect come to your funnel, having that discovery call with you, having that closing moment where they've decided how much money they want to invest and what products that they're going to buy, and who is going to onboard that, and how do you plan on managing that relationship? Who's the account manager, and who is the project manager, and what sort of reports are they going to get, and when. All those things have to be easily understood by everyone in your team, right? So that is what I mean by creating a systematic process. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have more questions on scaling agencies and how to do it, and what's the fastest way to get to 60,000 or 100,000 or whatever it is, reach out to one of our consultants. This is what we do here at Clickx, all right? So we help agencies just like yourself scale, and that's our passion. We built the technology, the tools, the training, our track record of success to be able to do this for agencies small and large. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, I want you to go ahead and click that like button. Leave me a comment on what else people should be doing to scale their agencies, right? How do we keep it super simple so that you can actually generate more money and not more headache? All right, so hopefully you found some value in this video, and I'll see you next time.